Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to the Keto Mom page. So my name is Stephanie and I have a special guest today.
I'm so special.
My
I'm
special
her
guest is my husband. His name is Steve. And we are going to talk to you about how to dive into the next year and not wait till the first, right?
I think it's so important. So many
Right.
people wait for that magical day of the first.
Right.
Or they wait till that Monday.
Right.
But guess what? You can make that choice today.
Yes. And I've had a lot of moms reach out and go, how do I get my spouse on board? Or how do I get my husband on board? Let's just be real. There's a lot of ladies on this page.
And some fellas.
And there are some men, or there's a lot of women who want their men to come over and learn or do it with them.
All right, so in the comments, I'd love to know, fellas, if you're there, let me know you're there.
Is there any
Otherwise,
fellas in the house?
Ladies, if you want your fellas to be a part of not just New Year's resolutions, not just goals, but becoming a better husband,
Yeah.
maybe a better leader, a better father, a better fill in the blank, just tag them down below.
Tag them below and
I
say,
think that'd be great.
Let's do this journey together. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from?
We're from Minnesota.
We are from Minnesota. We have snow. We went snowboarding yesterday.
Yeah, I've got a beard.
My husband is a lumberjack. He's trying to decide if he should shave it off or keep it. What do you think? He wants to shave it. So
I miss
we
my
just
Florida
moved
self.
back to Minnesota in July. We are loving the snow. If you follow us on Instagram, it's Keto Mom Secrets, all one word. We took the girls snowboarding, went with one of their gifts.
So this is
and
Keto Mom, but Keto Mom Secrets? Do you give
Keto Mom
secrets?
Secrets.
Oh,
It's just a
all
name.
the secrets.
All the secrets. Okay, where are you tuning in from? We're going to dive into a couple things. We're going to talk about how to get started right now. We're going to give you some tips and tricks. Simple things. And I want you to continue to watch all the way through January and then dive in with us for the 30-day accountability for January. Some of you are going to ask, what is that and how do I get involved? I'll tell you in a second. And then I'm going to read to you something. So part of just getting ready for this entire new journey, I love what you said. So I don't know if you guys figured this out, but about midway through the year, I looked at my husband and I said, I don't know if you remember this, I said, oh my goodness, 2020 is 2020. It's like your vision. Like I feel like this year was really truly for people to open up their eyes and figure out what they want, realign their goals, get more focused on truly what matters. And I feel like 2020 was a year of like focus and trying to just get back to what matters.
It's true.
What do you
It's true.
think, and what do you say about 2021?
Oh.
I love what he says,
Well, I
and
love
I
what
think
you
it's
just
super
said, 'cause
great.
I do remember us having that conversation. So 2020 vision, so
Right.
important. But 2021, when you hear that, what do you hear? When I first heard 2021, I didn't think of the number. I thought of the word.
Right.
W-O-N.
W-O-N, one.
2021.
Yeah. Steve was like, the other day, he goes, 2021, like we won 2020. So I think a lot of people could come to this end of the year and go, I don't ever want to go back. But my challenge to you would be, our challenge would be, what did you learn from 2020? Like, what were some clear visions that were opened up? What are some things that you saw and you were like, I don't want to do that again? Or you learned some lessons? I feel like I have learned a lot. One of my biggest lessons was I need to listen more than I speak and just being aware of what's going on around me. What about you?
That's really good. I would say, what have I learned?
Yeah.
I would love to know, what have you learned? Comment that down below. Some of the biggest takeaways that I've gotten is just priorities and how mine were truly in conflict. They
Yeah.
really were. And so there were some things that we had to do as a family. We took some big
We
pivots,
made a big
some big
change,
changes,
yep.
and there's probably a lot of stuff that we didn't really talk about on this page so much, but
Right.
there was a lot of things that we had to do because as a family unit, we wanted to get stronger.
Right.
And so
That involved a move.
it did. We
job
moved,
change.
job change, just a lot of things.
Yeah.
And none of those things were bad.
Right.
But we just knew where we wanted to go
Right.
in the future. It had to require a pivot. And that's the greatest thing is I don't want you to ever feel like where your life currently is at today, it has to be that way forever.
Right.
Our life is made up of a series of decisions, of choices, of
Choices.
things that we get to make on a daily basis.
Right.
And sometimes you're not always happy with where you're at, but the good thing is you're not a tree. You can move. You're not just planted in that one location.
Right.
It is okay to make some different changes. It's okay to find some new friends. It's okay to make 2021 the best year you've ever had.
Yeah, and it's a choice. You're going to choose to either dive into this year with a positive attitude of what you've learned from the past and deciding and making a pivot, whatever that's going to look like for you, and choosing to have a good year and choosing to have the discipline to eat better, move your body, little things, drink more water. It's going to come down to the discipline of what you're going to choose.
That's so good.
That's it. Like our pastor talked about this today. You've got choices, and your choices are going to create who you are, regardless of what you think. And so it's the little choices every single day. I've talked a lot on this page about the book called Atomic Habits. You love that book.
I do.
By James Clear. I'm going to share a new book with you that if you want a really quick, simple read, I would challenge you to grab the book, grab the Audible, listen to it before January 1st, because throughout this entire next year, you can either put yourself in two categories, a cow or a rhino.
Ooh. So
here's the book.
Shout out to our friend Scott Alexander.
Scott Alexander spoke at an event that we were a part of probably 3 years ago. He was incredible, and it's all based on this book. And so I would challenge you to listen to this in the next 24 to 48 hours. Go to Audible, grab the book, run down to Hobby Lobby.
It's your
whatever,
local bookstore.
Your local bookstore. Or grab it off Amazon. But this book is going to either put you into the cow category or the rhino category. I'm going to read something, but do you want to explain what that means?
No, I want you to read it first.
Well, it doesn't
I
explain
think
the
what
cow
we
or
should
the
do
rhino.
is over the course of the next month, as we go through January, are we going to kind
We
of break
should
down
give
this
some
book?
of these away.
I agree.
I don't know how we should do that, but we
We've got
have some extra books.
And
Do
I
you guys
they're
think we
even
should do that?
signed by Scott.
Yes, we actually got these for our team, and he signed like 200 of them. We bought them a little while ago, so I have a few left. So why don't we do this? Post below what your goals are and what your biggest learning lessons are from 2020, and we're just going to pick some random winners. I'll get your address, and we'll send some books out this week.
I like that.
So here's what I'm going to read to you.
Secret
So,
to living is giving.
He says, success is not easy. It is truly difficult. He says it's a truly difficult animal. He categorizes people into humans. So people are either cows or rhinos. And we'll talk about that in a second, unless you want to say something.
No, I see now why you want me to say
Right.
the difference. So think about cows, right? They travel in herds, herds aren't necessarily bad because
Right.
you are like your closest friends.
Right.
You are like your closest 5 people, but they usually go around in herds. They're in their pastures.
They're not adventurous.
They're not adventurous. They're
They
pretty.
kinda-
Where do they keep their heads? Keep their
Cows
heads
keep
low.
their head low.
And
They
usually
wallow
walk
in each
around
other's.
in each other's poop, right?
They're not striving for better. They're just there.
If you were to
They're
take a knife
existing.
and if you were to cut them, what do you get? Filet mignon. Because they're easily. But a rhino.
What is a rhino?
What is a
He
rhino?
says this. He says it on the back of the book. He says, you could become 3 tons of thick skin, snorting, hard charging rhinos. It's time to go get the life that you want.
And where do you find rhinos? One at a time.
Right.
They are charging.
They're focused.
They're focused.
Thick skinned,
Nothing stops them.
not wavering,
If they know where they want to go,
charging
they
what
knock
after
right
they
through it.
want. Right? So it's an analogy. It's pretty funny. The book is great, but this is what he says. Success is not easy. It is truly difficult animal to capture, requiring lots of work, quick thinking, desire, and persistence on the part of the hunter. This book is a survival guide for your expedition, a rhinoceros manual for your greatest hunt. Use it, and you will not only achieve more success quicker, but you will also have the greatest time of your life charging through the jungle. Let's go. Right now is the season for success. And there's something else I was going to read. And he just talked about discipline. And all he said is this. Discipline is having to do something that you don't want to do. And I love that part because I was telling Steve even earlier today, discipline in building a business, discipline in your health and fitness, as a parent, and relationships. We were driving here and Steve was like, are you having a bad day? And I'm going to be real with you because I said I wasn't going to tell you. I was crabby today. I was crabby because, ladies, I'm just going to say you will understand that time of the month. Part of it is I just wasn't inspired, right? Does anybody ever feel like that? Who's tuning in? Do you ever feel not inspired? On the days where you're like, I'm crabby, I don't want to eat that piece of broccoli, I want to eat the donut instead. Or I don't want to go to the gym because I don't feel inspired. And so he was like, well, what inspires you? And some days you're going to get to this point in your journey, mid-January, mid-February, mid-March. Let's say you decide and make a goal. Let's say you're a rhino and you're going to dive into this next year. And you've got goals, right? And then all of a sudden you hit January 16th and you go, I don't feel like it. What's going to make you do it? I got here today, we pressed play or record on the camera. He said he would help me, even though I didn't feel inspired because of all of you on here, because I made a commitment. I said I was going to do a live every single day. I was going to come on here and give you some tips and tricks to help you on your journey. Even if I don't feel like it, I'm going to come on here and give you some things to help you on your journey because I already said I was going to. It was my word. Like I didn't feel like it. Now I'm feeling inspired because I see all you great people kind of, but it's a part of who I am. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, right? If I'm going to work out, I'm going to go work out. If I'm not going to eat the donut, I'm not going to eat the donut. Doesn't mean I don't fail. Doesn't mean that I don't sometimes slip up. And that's when you get yourself back up and you keep going. But what are you going to do to keep yourself motivated? That's where the rhino and the cow come in.
That's good.
Are you going to stick and be a rhino and do it even when it's hard, even when you're crabby, even when the donut is in front of you, even when you don't want to do it, or somebody is rude to you about your journey, or you're comparing your journey to somebody else's? What is going to make you stick in every single day and do it?
That's really good.
So I didn't want to do this because I really just wanted to go take a nap. And I'm not a nap taker. I was just crabby. But now I feel a lot better.
And I don't like to do all of this.
Right.
And a part of me was thinking, I don't like to do all this because I don't know if I like all of this. As silly as that may seem.
We've been on a fun journey. And so let's talk about health and fitness. So
I agree.
Tell us about your journey.
Oh, man. Could I say it's like a roller coaster?
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Right.
Have you ever been to that place to where you're doing so good for so long, and then a special day comes around, and you're like, all right, this is going to be that one day.
Thanksgiving
Came around.
Christmas.
And then
all
it's
the
like,
parties.
then it's Christmas, then it's a birthday, and then you can just, if you live in America, and if you like me, you can justify everything.
Right.
You can justify everything. Well, I'm going to do an extra workout later because that cookie looks so good.
Right.
Or, you know what, I'm going to decide to eat that when nobody's looking. Have you ever been there? Well, guess what? That has been my story for probably for my whole life. I would just like to say, it feels like it's been my whole life. And now the reality is, I don't have a big belly. I don't have a double chin. I don't have a lot to notice. It's really easy just to kind of notice.
Right.
And you know what? If that is the case and you have a body that is noticeable, where you know it's not just been from one decision, but it's been a lifetime of making not the right decision.
Right.
My encouragement for you is to know why. It is so important to identify and to have that perspective of why. And the reality is I'm not always like that closet eater, but I'm that person where I like to snack.
Right.
And even last night, like the girls caught me eating the candy on the countertop. And
What was brought over by grandma, by the way. Anybody having these
but
things
we're
in their-
justifying.
I know that.
All of
but
those things, like it's so
like,
easy to justify.
I'm going to walk people through what to do with that, but you're right. Like it's sitting on the counter and we shouldn't have had it on the counter.
And the reality is some of you, like my wife, you have the willpower to say no. Like
Not
it can
gonna
sit
eat it.
there and it's not a big deal. Now,
Right.
if it was a bowl of chips that were sitting on the counter,
Then I would snack on them.
maybe she might or she might not, but that's more of her thing. And the reality is you were just saying like your word is your bond.
Right.
That's why I took it. You didn't want to do this live, but you did it anyways.
Right.
For me, if I want to lead a health-filled life, if I want to show my girls what it means to take care of my temple, if I
Right.
want to be a good example, because that's my why, is to show my girls, not just lip service and talk about it, but I have to show it.
Right.
It's out of daily action. And so for me, I've already put together my plan. This morning, I put together my plan when I was listening to a message about choices. This is how I want to end 2020, rolling into 2021, is I'm actually doing a 3-day ketone fast. I am.
Oh.
So I'm going to finish
not know that.
finish the year with a fast. And in this fast, when I already know it's going to come on, when it's going to come upon me, it's going to be tough. I'm going to be angry. Those times, I'm going to basically get
Well,
myself
you're going
still.
to choose not to be, but if it comes
I'm going
upon
to get
you.
myself still.
Yeah.
I'm going to read. I'm going to fill my mind with positive things, and I'm going to focus on the reason why I'm ending 2020, basically detoxifying myself.
That's good.
If that makes sense. And then a lot of you probably wondered, well, I thought you just ate meat. When I eat only meat, I feel unbelievable. I
Right.
feel like a rhino. And yes, I know rhinos eat vegetables.
So he's done carnivore a
grass.
good chunk of, he'll do carnivore, then he'll kind of slip up and do something else. And then he'll go back to carnivore and then slip up and do something
Right.
else.
And so my whole plan is, because January is World Carnivore Month,
Yep.
I'm going to just do it. I'm going to do it with a whole bunch of like-minded, crazy carnivore people.
There you go.
And so that's my plan. But for me, I already know what I'm going to feel like when I
Yeah.
do it. And that, since I've been there, I'm going to bring it back. But the thing is I'm not just talking about it. It's not just a goal, because remember, we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems.
Ooh, we've said this before.
And
You should
so-
say it slowly so people hear you.
You don't rise to the level of your goals. It's easy to talk about your goals.
Right.
It's even easy to write your goals down. But remember, you fall to the level of your system.
So he always has a great goal, right, of being up here, but the system was not matching up with your goal.
Exactly.
The habits,
Yep.
the daily actions, the discipline. Everybody has a goal. You can't be a human and not have goals or things you want to strive after, but it just depends on what you're going to act upon to
And
create
everybody's
those.
at different spots. I mean,
Right.
some of you, I've talked to a lot of people where they're like, it's scary for them to dream.
Right.
They're kind of just stuck in, I'll say, living a mundane life.
Yeah.
And you were born to be extraordinary. You were born to have limitless potential. You were born to do a lot of amazing things, and you're worth it.
Right.
And so I hope you know that in 2020, if you've had a challenging year, you've had some challenges, you've had some setbacks, guess what? If you're not dead, you're not done. There is more in you.
Right.
And for 2021, you can be victorious. Like, you can crush the year. You can have an extraordinary year if you choose it.
I love that. So I want you to hear something. He has his goals that fit his body. And if you have anybody around you that you're doing this with, or you've got a spouse or a friend or a coworker, you know that nobody's bodies are the same, right? So please don't hear Steve's story and go, I should be carnivore. Like, that works for him. And he'll joke about it, but he'll say, we could eat the exact same meal and I could lose 5 pounds and he would gain 10. And it's a joke, but kind of not. Our bodies and our systems are completely different. So I want you to do something that's going to work for you. Some of you are going to be strict keto. You love it. You embrace it. You love eating so low carbs and tons of fat. It works for you. 90% of you that I talk to do something low carbish. You do the best that you can. You don't want to be stuck to tracking everything, and that works for you, right? So I'm going to give you we're going to dive into some basic tips and tricks so that you can figure out what your goals are. Steve wrote his down today. He knows what he's going to do. I already know he has it written down, and he's going to pursue them because he already said it to you. I've got a tickle on. I feel like I've got a fuzzy on my nose.
It was. I just saw it leave. And I was thinking about you.
You're seeing the fuzziness on my nose. So here's what I wrote down for you to get started.
Ooh,
okay?
These are some good 5 points.
And I'll tell you this. He talks about, in this last part about having discipline, Steve said it takes choices, right? You're going to choose to act right now to get prepared for January and diving into the new year, or you're going to choose to watch this. And some people say knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, but only half of it. It's the action that you take after you learn all of this stuff that flips the switch. And if you don't take the action, it doesn't work.
That's good.
You can't keep learning all of this stuff and if you don't put it into play, then it just sits there on a shelf. So there's no reason to learn anything else. So as a baby rhino, you have mommy and daddy rhinos to discipline you and say no and not right now, right? As an adult, you don't have the discipline. Who do you have to tell you? He said, do you have the parents around? Nope. We can do anything that we want to, which for most of us, guess what, is as little as possible. So he said it's scientifically proven that people will do as little as possible unless they are forced to do it. So you need to figure out your why.
That's so good.
You need to figure out what's going to make you get off your booty and move and make those better choices. And when you have that, guess what?
I like that.
You can do it. So here's some very simple basic tips I wrote down. I like to write notes, plus I think it helps people if you're a visual learner. So if I was to give you 5 simple tips today to write down and put on your fridge to start, number 1 is, it's so simple, it seems silly. I want you to always have a water bottle with you. I have one, Steve has one. Water. If you just said every day I'm going to have my water bottle with me and drink more water, that is a number 1. Let's work on your water. Number 2, I said cut the sugar, or you could just say processed junk. So the other day, we took a good majority of the sugar that was brought into our home and we threw it in a trash bag. There's still some things that either, if I let the girls keep it, has to be out of sight, right? So put it in a cupboard so you don't see it. If you let your kids have treats, like the girls got a whole bunch of stuff from grandma in a stocking. I don't care if they have a Tootsie Roll or a Hershey Kiss, but it cannot be on the counter, because if he has it on the counter, he's gonna eat it. So if you struggle with seeing things and not eating it, put it away. I like to say put things really, really low, because parents usually don't dive into a snack. Maybe you do, but I think it's harder. Like if you're not opening things up at your eye level, you probably won't eat it. So put it somewhere that you can give it to your kids as a special treat and not everyday thing.
That's why they do that at the grocery stores.
Right.
Everything's at eye level that they want you to buy.
Get it away from you. So yes.
I just thought of that. All the candy can go in that bottom drawer.
Right. And then when
Or
our
it can
girls
go
are
in the
really great at
garbage.
asking for a treat. So it can be thrown away, or I'll let them have a Hershey Kiss here and there. So get rid of the sugar. A part of your fat loss journey, which a majority of you are here for, sleep plays a huge factor in that. So how is your sleep? We are getting the phones out of our room. He just told me today, no more phones in our room. You should be off your phone an hour before you go to bed. You should be reading and getting great sleep, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and once again, it's easy to justify it, right? So what does Stephanie do right before she goes to bed? She answers all of these questions.
I finish all of your questions that you ask me. I'm going to do that before I go into our room.
Here's the reality, though, is just like all of these different things, you're going to probably easily be able to justify. Well, I like my Pops. I would rather not drink that.
It's okay. It's
Or
Diet
there's-
Zero Coke.
Right, and there's water inside of that, so you're going to start counting those ounces.
Right.
Or, you know what, I'm working really hard on this project, and I'm going to give up sleep. This isn't something that you have to do. You have to figure out what's best for you. And honestly, Stephanie says this all the time. Don't mess up good for perfect.
Right.
What she's giving you is some 5 pointers to help you live a better life and to win in 2021.
Yes. So basic things. Water, get out the junk. You need to make sure you're sleeping, have good sleep. Stress. So I wrote stress and mindfulness. What I mean about this
Number 4
is this. Like, are you getting up in the morning and filling your mind, or throughout the day, what are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching? We get up in the morning, and 90% of the time, 95% of the time, the first thing we do is we're reading something. We're reading a book, we're listening to a podcast or a message, because it's going to set your day up for success. Or if you don't and you dive right into Messenger or the news or people's problems, you're probably not going to have a very stressless day. Stress plays a huge part in your body, and if you don't fill your mind right, then guess what? That's going to maybe have you choose wrong choices of food. You might skip your workout. You might grab the soda. So what do you have to say about that?
No, I think you're part of your systems. I love morning routines.
Right.
So what's your morning routine?
Yes.
Right. What's your morning? Maybe we can talk about that in one of the upcoming days.
We can do a
Talk
morning
about the morning
routine.
routine. But real fast, wake up, we read something. It's so important. We get our water in, we drink our ketones. Stephanie calls them her mom fuel.
Yep.
And then we work out. Like those are the top 3 every day.
Done.
Like we've got to do
If
that
that's
before
done,
the kids
then
wake
I
up.
feel like we have a great, successful day. If it's not, then I have to choose to have a really good attitude because I didn't get something done I wanted to.
Right.
And it's probably because I slept in. So that would be my choice.
And then what's really fun is we'll talk about stacking habits later on in the month of January,
Right.
but you can build upon momentum.
Right.
And remember, don't get so overwhelmed. These are 5 really simple, basic things.
Right.
And you can learn more and watch more. Just go to Stephanie's Instagram page, Keto Mom Secrets, to find out all the secrets on how she does this. Sometimes I don't know how she does it. As a mom, as a wife, 4 daughters, homeschools, runs a super large community business. Like, you're pretty much awesome. And
He has to say that.
no, I don't.
I know,
I don't
I
get
know.
paid to say that. I mean it wholeheartedly. And there's so many people that are on this platform that are watching you right now that their life has been completely changed. And it's because of you that she does this. Even on a hard day where she said she'd rather just check out and take a little break, she's giving. And that's your nature. And I think you're awesome.
Oh, thanks, babe. You're sweet. Okay, number 5 is moving your body. That does not mean you have to be in a crazy gym or feel like you've got to do it for an hour, but it is important to move your body. So go for a walk, Maybe you've been wanting to join a gym and you're afraid. Or maybe you've been wanting to try something new, right? Maybe, I don't know what it is for you. Like, we love to do body pump in our house upstairs on a TV together, or we love to go to the CrossFit gym. It just depends on our specific goals.
And what the governor allows you to do.
So I would just say this, in these 5 tips, this is basically just to get started for right now. So grab a water bottle, get out some of the junk that causes you to stumble throughout the day. If it causes you to stumble, get it out of the house. Your kids don't need it. They can have it somewhere else, right?
That's good.
Get your sleep in, be mindful and read something. Fill your mind with positive podcasts, books, music, and then move your body. So those are the tips that I have right now, but we're going to continue to give you tips throughout the rest of the month and getting you started off. We are going to be doing probably a vision board as a family, so you can watch us do that, and we'll share some different questions you can ask your kids or your spouse or friends. It's just great to just be aware again of what 2020 brought and where we're going in 2021.
Yeah, so we're going to go through all these comments.
Yep.
And we're going to answer all of the questions.
Yes.
But I think what would be really cool is, where have you won? Like, what are some of the things? What are some of the goals? What are some of your victories?
So we're going to give some of these
that you've
away.
had?
So if you're just tuning in,
Well, I'd
share
love to
with
hear
us.
stories.
Yeah.
Type up your stories in the comment or send it over to Stephanie on the message, and then just let us know, like, how have you won? What are you going after? And what are you excited about?
Yes. Or your biggest learning lessons of 2020. Whatever you want to share with us below. I'm just going to pick some fun stories that people share. I've got a couple of these books. He also wrote another book called Rain or Shine that I have. So if we run out of these, I can mail those out as well. And then lastly, I would just say, if you're looking for some tactical, a lot of you ask about my mom fuel, I'll just say this. That's where I started. It's basic. It's not basic. It's ketone. So for those of you who see me mail these out every single day, this is where I started. He introduced me to them. I said I would never talk about them, but I drink it every day. I call it my mom fuel. He drinks it every day. It's your dad fuel or your lumberjack fuel.
I don't know. I think I should go back to the West Palm Beach look. Should
But
I shave this and cut this?
So
I
we
think
lived
I
in
should.
Florida 2 winters ago, and he was very beach boy. And now we say he's a lumberjack because we've been working outside in our house.
I'm even wearing flannel.
Yes, we're farmers. Not really. We have a lake. We're fish farmers. Does that count?
I don't know if we farm fish.
Here's the deal. The ketones are incredible. So if you want to start with something, if you need a tool, this is a tool, not a magic pill. You put it in some water, you shake it up, you drink it, it puts you in ketosis. You do not have to be doing a strict keto diet. He does carnivore. I eat too much protein to probably have my body make ketones. But it's going to give you all of the benefits. So it's going to help you with fat loss, focus, better mood, better sleep, energy, all of those things, and we're going to work on your food. If you want to know more, just type down mom fuel below or dad fuel.
You can start
Or
with
just
a 5.
post a 5.
Or 5. Yeah.
We mail these out every day. It's just a variety of flavors to give it a shot. So post 5 below. Otherwise, a handful of you have asked like how to reset your metabolism. So we do have a really cool reboot kit that will start mid-January. So if you want to know more about the reboot, it's like some people would say a 60-hour fast or a cleanse, but we say a reboot. So it's going to reset your metabolism. We'll be doing this mid-January. So post reboot below for some more information. You can join us on that.
See, secretively, that's how I'm ending this.
He's
month.
going to do that right. He's
But
going to end the month.
I didn't
with
know
a
you were going
reboot.
to talk about that. Sorry, I didn't see that box down there, but that's really what I'm doing.
Right. So you'll end it, but most people don't have them to end it. So you can do it with us mid-January once we just start in creating your habits, right? Mm-hmm. So ask all your questions below. We'll be coming back and doing more lives for the next few days. And then throughout the entire January, we're going to do a 30-day challenge, or not a 30-day accountability. It's not a separate group. Everything is here. It's going to be discipline for you to say what your goals are.
Yep.
It's going to be the discipline for you checking in. So I'm not going to be checking a box and watching for you, but I'm going to be just watching for your comments, right?
We should give some fun stuff away.
We'll think of what we can do if you check in every single day. It just requires a lot of checking for names, but you would be shocked. Every time I do this, it'll start with hundreds of people, and by the end of the month, it dwindles down to like 7.
But not this year.
Not this year.
Because this year
Because you're going to check in.
is the year of winning.
We could give a really cool prize away if somebody checks in every single day, and I'm not sure how we would monitor that, so let me think about it, and we could think about something so fun. But until then, Share your goals below. We'll be giving some books away. Ask any questions you have, and we'll come back.
I love it.
Anything else?
That is it.
Otherwise,
That's all we
post
got.
5 below for Mom Fuel, and we will chat with you
Hey,
soon.
tag a friend. Share this with a friend who you think
You want to join you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yes, that's it.
Love it.
Okay.
You're amazing.
We'll talk
You're
to you
amazing.
soon. Bye.